So I was explaining the position relative. You can see that this position relative, this is the container, in case so that you don't mess it up. This is the container I just created. All right, and this container was given to be position what relative. Have I given it a width? I've not given it a width. So we'll make it a position relative. What you observe now is that it's scroll with the wall with the browser. All right, but position fix is fixed on the words, on wherever position you put it on the words on the browser. It's not moving out. Now there's one that is called position absolute. Okay, why is there position absolute? Position absolute can be on top of any position that you want to place it. For example, you see this position I have that is called position relative. Let me make this on black. That is actually called position relative relation. That's called position what? Position relative. Okay, now I want to put a container inside there, then I will move it any direction that I want to place it. Okay, I'm going to create a div. Let's say this div is absolute. All right, presently is inside here, you may not know, so let's give it a background color of white, so that the text color will be black. Background color of what? Of white. You can see now is inside this particular position relative. Okay, so let me now set the position. I'll give it position. I will make it position what? Absolute. I'll make it position absolute. When I make it position absolute, you notice that it's still inside this particular container. Please let me remove this right up so that it will not be confusing. Let's say this one is no longer there. So we now know that this one is position absolute. Why this pink is position what? Position what? Relative. So position absolute is on top of position relative. Let's say I want to move this position absolute to appear on the down part. I'll go back to my style. I'll just call the bottom what? Property. I'll set the bottom to be 0. You can see that it's now at this part here. Let's say I want it to come to be at this edge, at this part here. You just set your left, sorry, that's right, set your right to be what? To be 0. So you can see that it's now appearing here. Let's say I want it to go up a bit so that it will be somewhere here. I'll just say okay. To the bottom, give it something like 10 pixels. To the bottom, give it something like what? 10 pixels. So look at it. So it's moving from this part to this part is 10 pixels. If you make it 50 pixels, it will still go up more. All right, so you can move item inside your what? Inside your container. So now position, we now know that position absolute is on top of position relative. This same position absolute can still be on top of position what? Fixed. So this particular guy here is position what? Fixed. Let's say I create a container here with div. Let's say this is also absolute. This is also absolute. Then let's say the background color, the background, hello, style, the background color of this one, let's say I gave it black. I make it black. So look at it now. You know, now notice now that it's inside, it's on top of this. We already know that that's position what? Fixed. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is I will turn this one now that is inside, I will turn it to position absolute. Position absolute. So when it's position absolute, I can now move it around. I can move it around and I say okay, oh, this guy will be, I can give it let's say instead of this let me just pass in X. So we already know that that thing is what? Let me just pass in capital X there. Then the color I'm going to give that X, the color I'm going to give the X, I'm going to give it red so that you know that sometimes they will have a sidebar that closes. You can use CSS position to achieve that also. So this is my X here, which is position what absolute. I want to make it to be at this edge, so I'll just call, it is my code here, I'll just call the left, sorry, the right, I'll turn the right to be what, to be 0. If I save it, I should be in a very good shape. You can see that it's coming up here. All right, mind you, you can also increase the font size of that particular X there. You can increase the font size. Let's say font size I set to be 20 pixels, so it will be bigger than the way it is. So you can actually use position absolute to move item anywhere that you want to place it on. Now the other guy outside position relative and position fixed and position absolute is position static. Like I said earlier, position static just work like your position relative. So let's assume that I want to create another position called position static. Let me duplicate this code instead of typing it again. I have something like this here. I'm going to set a margin top, so that it will give that guy a space. The top one is space. A margin top of 20 pixels. So now you now notice that this both of them, they are position relative. Now I want to turn this one to position static. Position static. You can see that we have position sticky too. Let me make the color to be something like this. Okay, there I have something inside. The background color of this one is white. Okay, but now look at it. Position sticky is still moving with the browser. Now what do you observe? Position absolute is not inside position sticky. Is there errors anywhere? There's no error now. I think I'm good. So position absolute cannot stay inside position sticky. This one is absolute. This one is sticky. This one is relative. This one is absolute. Do you get it? Now let's look at the last one, which is position sticky. Sorry, that one is a static. This is sticky. Let's see what's sticky. So position absolute is also on top of what? Position sticky. I don't know if we are getting it. Position absolute is on top of position sticky, is on top of position relative, is also on top of position fixed. But position absolute cannot stay in position static. Please, is that understood? Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's now go to our program. Let's go back to our program. With this, what we want to create now, we want to create the sidebar. With what we have learned so far, we use it to create our sidebar. So let's go back to your HTML. I have to close this. Header.css. I think I'm done with the headers. I'm not done with the header. I will still come back to that header later. But basically now everything that we will need now, it has been explained. It just wants to be applying it. So let's come back to our program. Let's come back to our code. Stop, then go live. Alright, so what we are going to do now, we are going to create inside our styles of CSS, because we are structuring our code. We're going to create a file called sidebar. Please, if you are with me, let me know. Sidebar.css. Sidebar.css. So I have to come to my HTML. I have to come to my HTML on the head region. On the head region, so I'm going to be having my link. So I have to go into my styles, then I'll be looking at sidebar. So any code I type here will appear here. Now this is what I want to do. This is our nav bar, right? This is the nav bar, which is the header. I'll collapse it. So my sidebar should come in between the nav bar and the contents, isn't it? So please, are we together?
Yes, sir.
So let's call it, I don't know, let's give it a div. I don't know if I should give it a div so that I will not look as if I'm using div. Uh, it's still div that will call it. It's just the class that will separate it. So this is sidebar. This sidebar. So I'll give it a class of what? Sidebar. I gave it a class of sidebar. Presently it will appear here, but you can see it's showing here, but it's not looking fine. Okay, so this one now, let me bring this one down very well so that you'll be seeing it very well. So this is what we are working on now. So this sidebar here now, okay, I'll copy it. I'll go to my sidebar.css. I'll paste it there. So the next thing I'm going to do, let's set the, so that we'll see what we are working on. Let's set the background color to be green first, so that presently it's looking somehow. Then we are going to convert it to position what? Position fixed, so that it will be fixed. Position what? Fixed. So now it's fixed. I can see that it's fixed here. Okay, then the next thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to set it to the top. I hope I'm fine. I'll remove the codes. So I'm going to set it to the top. Now we know that the height of the header is what? The height of the header, what do we give it there? Was it not 55 pixels? I think it's 55 pixels. So I will now give this one, let it start 55 pixels from the what? From the top. 55 pixels from the what? From the top. So this is position what? Fixed. Have I linked this guy there? I think I've linked it. Top 55 watts pixels. So you can see now it's not showing on top of what you have here. Why am I passing this here? Don't mind me. Thought I'm inside HTML. So the bottom, I'm going to give it something like 0 so that it will go down. You can see that it's going down. So we said we also give the left so that it will start from the edge of the other side. The left will set it to be something like 0.2, so it's coming at the edge. So if you scroll down, you see that this guy is looking good. Then the width, I'm going to give it a width of let's say a width of 70 pixels, so it will be wider. Now if you look at the bigger screen, you notice that the image is appearing inside, because my item is going to come in here, but presently this image is appearing inside. I have to go back to the general.css. Where is the general.css? This is general.css. In the general.css, I'm going to pass in what we call padding left. I'll give it a padding left. Since that's 77, I can say okay, oh, this is what? 80 what pixels. Padding left, I gave it 80 pixels. What do you observe now? It's now perfectly what? Positioned. Please, I don't know if I'm communicating. It's now perfectly what? Positioned. Nothing is hiding anywhere again. So let's try and increase this width a bit again. The width of the sidebar, let me just give it something like 77 pixels. All right, so if this is my sidebar, I'll go back to the original website. Please, are you with me? Is everybody with me?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Okay. Please, anywhere you are confused, call my attention. No, please. So see, still on the sidebar area. Let me just get the sidebar today. Mm. So still on the sidebar area, we have to download these icons that we have in the original website. So maybe you do that later, but let me download it now. Click on save images. I think it's good here. It's good here. Home. This one is save images. Save. Save images. Save images. Originals. Alright, so all the me image are now present there now. Go back to my program. I'll go back to my code. So please, you permit me, since I'm dealing with this sidebar, so let's be looking at this part of it. I'm going to remove some things from the HTML. I'm going to remove this text from it. Then the next thing I'm going to remove that color from it. I'm looking at this side. So this is what I have presently. And also I'll go back to my sidebar.css. This background color, I'll remove it since I've gotten the kind of thing that I want to achieve. Now if that is okay, if that concept is very very okay with us, the background color, let's set the background color to be white of the sidebar, because that's what they have in their sample there. The background color of our sidebar is white. The next thing we are going to set is we have already given it a position what fix. All right, we've given it position fix. Let me quickly explain something to you guys. There's something called z-index. Z-index is how elements are placed on the on your browser. So every element you see that you place on your browser, they have a certain z-index that they operate on. So what you normally do, a z-index that is higher than other z-index will come on top of the other one. For example, if I gave that's my I think this one, let's say this is my video grid. I give this video grid, it's going to be inside video.css. I give this video grid a z-index of, let's say, 300. So that I like to break everything down so that it's not magic. I give this video grid a z-index of 300. Okay, now what you notice now that is supposed to come on top of my header. So the reason why it's not coming on top of my header, because this one is actually what position what fix. Anytime you give an item position fix, even when you set the z-index, position fix will always come on top of the of the other item. So what I'm trying to explain is that this z-index of 200, okay, if it's not the element that is in position fix and you gave the other one z-index of 200, what will happen is that it will come on top of that particular element. You can practice it with relative and image, so that you raise it up. So that's what z-index does. Okay, that's actually the properties of your z-index. So Bob, first and foremost, let's come back to our HTML code. Let's get the pattern. So the pattern that this particular code is going to take is that the image will be inside a div. Those image will be inside a what? They will be inside a div. All right. and I'm looking at the sidebar. So I'll place those images inside inside a div. I have a main div, so I'm going to create another div here. This div uh, is going to carry the image, and it's also going to carry the text. So, but I'm going to call this div. I'm going to give it a class of sidebar hyphen what links. Sidebar hyphen what link. Sidebar link. So inside this sidebar link, I'll bring that image. So I have to go inside images. After images, I go to icons. Then I think that one is home SVG. So that's what it will appear here. Then under it, they now have something they called a write-up called home. I'll give it a div. Here I will type my home there. So my item will be what will be placed like this. Okay. So what I will do next is this. You see this particular sidebar link, I will duplicate it. So me to be coding again afresh. I just highlight it, alternate, shift alternate. How many icons do they have here? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, right? So 3, 4, 5, 6. So the next thing I will do, I will just be changing what is inside. So this one should be original. Abi, is it original? Abi explore. This one should be explore. This one is what? Subscription, then original. This one is subscription. Subscription, then this one is original. Let me also change this one again. Subscription. Subscription. Then this one is original. So this what will be here should be originals. Then this one, I have YouTube music and library. So YouTube music. Then the last one is library. All right, all my images are now what appearing. So this one should be library. Now let me separate this so that you understand what's going on here. So this is the parent div. This div started here, this div end here, right? This one started here, this one end here, this one started here, this one end here. The same thing with this, same thing with this, the same thing with this. Okay, so all of them, they are enclosed inside one particular div. All right, let's now go back to our styling so that we begin to work on our styling. Let's go back to our styling so that we begin to work on it. The first thing I'm going to call it sidebar link. I'm going to call it sidebar link. Abi, is that what I call it? Sidebar hyphen what hyphen link. Is that what I call it here? Yup. Sidebar hyphen link. So what I'm going to do for that sidebar link, I'll set it to a height. I'll give it a height. Then I'll turn the display to be a flex. So I'll set it to a certain height. Let's give it a height of 74 pixels. So everything is tall, kind of. So this the display will become what? Flex. Flex by default, we said items in flex, they appear horizontally, abi? By default, item is flex, they appeared horizontally. So for everything to be evenly spaced out, let's call justify what? Content. Justify content, I am placing this item at the words at the center of the container, so everything is positioned like this. Even the align items, I will make it what? Center. Then the flex direction, I will set it to be what? To be column. So align items, I'm setting it to the what? To the center. Then we said the property that go for flex is flex direction. Flex direction will change the row, because by default you see that it's coming as row. So if I say flex direction, I turn it to what? To column. So it will what? It will be column, to be arranged in what? In a vertical what? In a vertical order. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do, I need to target the image, because the image presently are too big. All right, I need to target the image. I also need to target the what? The div. So let's see how to target item that is inside another item. I want to target the image. Normally somebody will say, Mr. Emmanuel, you should just call the image element directly. Yes, it will work fine. But what if under your code you have image element elsewhere? A good example is this our video that we have. You know that what we use to handle it is video element. So if I call image like that, it will also affect it kind of. So what I would do, I'll first of all call the class the sidebar link. So after the sidebar link, I will now target that particular element, which is what? Image. So I'm going to give my image a height of 24 pixels. Then I will margin it to the bottom so that it will give space to the other one. So height 24 pixels. So my image is very small, the way it's supposed to be now. Then I'll call my margin button so that it will have space with the other one. So the margin bottom, I'm going to give it a margin bottom of 4 pixels, just a small space to the other word, item. Then I want to talk to this div now. You know that this write up is inside a what? A div, and this div is an element. The same thing is an element. So if I want to target this now, I can see call sidebar link. Then I will now call my what? My div. So I'll say class sidebar words link. Ooh, problem. Link. So I'm talking to the word, to the div. So this div, I'm giving it a font size of 10 pixels so that it will not be too big. A font size of 10 pixels. So that's what I have, so that everything will be what? Will be properly what? Arranged. Then the font family. The font family is actually Roboto. So instead of me to be passing it here, since it's making use of, all right, you know that it's not making use of paragraph element, so I can't say it's going to go for general, so I have to type it because I didn't put it inside a paragraph. Sorry, the font family. The font family, I'll make it Roboto. I will say if Roboto did not load, we should load what? Area. So that's what we have been making use of. Now if you look at this program carefully, my YouTube music, how come I'm having YouTube music? What's going on? Let's check the HTML. All right, something is not right here. All right, I think it's better now. So now technically now I've gotten my pattern, but if you look at their whole original, there's an over effect they are carried out here, and even say if they turn the cursor to become a what? A pointer. So let's see how we can achieve that in our sidebar.css. So what I will do in that case, I'll go to my sidebar link. I'll set, I think that was what Crespin did. I'll call my cursor property then the value is what is pointer. Anytime my cursor gets here, it will turn to what? To hand. Okay, that's what that one is doing. Then I want to get my over effect, so that color that changes on the background. So over effect, for that I have to call my sidebar link first. Hope I'm good. So my sidebar link, then I'm getting the over of it. So the over of it is just for me to change the background color. The background color, I'll give it 235. It's going to be gray, but it's not that kind of a deep gray. So background color, RGB 235, 235, 230 5. So I have this here. So making my cursor get here, what do you observe? It turned it to what? To 1. So if you look at it on a bigger screen, this is what we have. Please, any question? Class, any
No, sir.
question? Question, please. Can I continue?
Yes, sir.
Shane, can I continue?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Fola, can I continue?
Yes, please.
Promise, are we good?
Yeah. You can continue.
All right, thank you very much, guys. You guys are doing well. So we have succeeded in getting our sidebar, technically succeeded in getting our sidebar. Now the next thing I will want to implement again, you see this thing that they have here. Since I've done position, that's practice with you guys, I'll just effect it here so that you see how it's being used. Okay, so this one, all this timing that they have, so the assignment I'm going to give you, you're going to pass it for your own original, but let me just show you how we are going to get this now. Okay, then possibly I can still come back here and fix this 3 that is showing on top here. So we now know that our next class is just this over effect, this text that is showing now, that we'll just work on. Then we know that this project is achieved. So is achieved, then I think by next class I'll still do the responsiveness. Because presently now this side is not responsive, because I've not talked about media query. Okay, so we now know that what we do next class is not going to be much like that. All right, I want to do those timestamp that they have inside those elements there. Now if I want to achieve that, I'm going to achieve it in a simpler pattern that I will not have to be disturbing myself too much, because technically the code is what is much, and if I didn't apply wisdom to my code, I will scatter everything. That's one thing about HTML. If you don't understand where the div is opened and you pass another div, your structure will go what bananas. It will just be in a disarray. So you need to know what you are opening and what you are closing. So I'm done with the header, I'm done with the sidebar. I'm coming back to this video grid. Now from this particular video grid, everything is in perfect shape because we have our thumbnail row. All right, we have our thumbnail row. Now the first thing I want to achieve here now is this timestamp that they have here. I'm going to call it a div. All right, I'm going to call it a div. What they wrote on that first one was what? 1420 Abby, 1420. Then I'm going to give it a class. I'm going to give it a class of video words time. Sorry, my bad. Video words time. Video hyphen time. Now you now notice, please pay attention, is inside this thumbnail row, Abby. This thumbnail row is the parent, isn't it? Do you understand? This thumbnail row is the parent, this video time is inside it. Okay, it means that for me to move that item around, I have to look for that thumbnail row. Where is it here? Have I called it? Did I call? I've not called it here at all. Yeah, I called it here. So what I will do to this one, I will set the position. I'll set the position to be what? Relative. I'll set the position to be what? To be relative. So this one that I will place here now, which is going to be my video time, I will set the position to be what? Let's be seeing our browser so that we'll be seeing what we are doing. This is it here presently, right? So I'll set, let's say, the background color. What's the color that they gave their own? White on black, right? Ooh. So white on black. Let's say the color is what? The color is white. The background color is what? Is black. Background color is what? Is black. So that's what I have. So I'm going to set this on to position absolute. So it's not here. All right, I set it to position what? To position absolute. That's the video time. Set it to position what? Position absolute. Then I need to call padding. The padding left, I want to give you a shortcut for padding so that you not be writing too many code. The padding left and the padding right, we are giving it 4 pixels. The padding bottom and the padding what? Top, we're also giving it 4 pixels. Instead of me to be calling padding everywhere and make the code to be too much, I'll just call padding. So when you call padding only like this, it's affecting left, right, top, and bottom. I'll give it what? 4 pixels. So technically that's what this one is doing, right? Then remember our font family is what? Roboto. So I have to also set it here also. I'll call my font family. My font family is what? Is Roboto. If Roboto did not load, give me what? Area. So let's also set the font size. The font size I'll give it 12 what? 12 pixels. That's what I'll give it so that at least it will come out a bit. The font size is 12 what? Pixels. Now if that is okay, all right, if you look at your original, it's not a perfect edge here. There is a border radius on it, so we already know what border radius does, so I will not spend time on that. I want to give it a border radius of 2 pixels so that it will not be obvious, but we know it's not going to be a perfect what? Edge. Okay, now the question now is, now it is position what? Absolute. I want to move it inside because we have said position absolute is on top of what? Position what? Relative, isn't it? I've already set the top row to be what? Relative. So if I say top, if I call top here, I give it 0, I call top of 0, you can see that it's going to the what? To the top. But if you look at the original, I think it's at this part here, this edge here. So what I need to call the bottom. I also need to call the what? The right. So if I call the right, we know that it will go to the right hand side of my container, but I want it to take it up a bit. I want it to go up a bit, so I'm going to give it 5 watts, 5 pixels. 5 pixels is like 5 pixels is not good enough because it's not showing inside. All right, then the bottom, so the space I want to put from the bottom, not top, please. Bottom, the bottom I will give you something like 8 watts, 8 pixels. So you can see that it's in the exact position where the original is what? The original that we are working on is what is located. Now see how this thing is very easy for me to do. Since it's a class that I declared here, I called it inside my HTML, I called it video all time. I'll just copy it. Instead of me to be creating the code again and again, that will make that will stress me, I'll just copy it. All the thumbnail row that I have, this is a thumbnail row. Where's the thumbnail row here? Okay, this one I'm done with this one. Open this one. There's a thumbnail row here. I'll paste it there. Close it back. Oh, close it back. What's this? Close this one back. This one, there is a thumbnail row here. I'll paste it here. I have to close it back. This one, there's a thumbnail row here. Paste it here. I have to close it back. This one, there's a thumbnail row here. I'll paste it there. I have to close this guy back. Thumbnail row here too. I'll paste it. Then I'll close it back. Thumbnail row. Paste. Then let's close it back. This one, thumbnail row. So close this one back. This one, thumbnail row. I'll close this one back. Hope I'm fine. No. So there's a thumbnail row here. I'll close this one back. Thumbnail row here. I'll close this one back. Thumbnail row. Close it back. Thumbnail row. I'll close it back. The last one, thumbnail row. Then I'll close it back. Save it. Check your browser. So are you seeing that everything is now appearing? So the classwork that I'm giving you guys for today, the classwork I'm going to give you, by next class I will see all of your classwork. It's only Crespin that is following me. By next class I'll have to see all your classwork. So the classes I'm giving you, you are loading the original content, then you are loading the video time on it to look like this. Now, are you noticing something now? You see the image is going on top. Are you seeing it? Please, hello? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Are you observing something? You see? The image is staying on top. Are you seeing
Going
it?
on top of the head.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
sir.
on top of the header. So, I'll go to that header region. I have to correct this. Thank God I saw it. To the header region. Where's the header CSS class? I hope I didn't pass the video grid. I didn't leave his index. Okay. So I'll go to the header region. That will be the header.css. This part here. I will set a z index. I'll set a z index there. So I'll give it 200. So you see that it will not appear on top again. Are you seeing it? It's not going on top again. It means that this one is having a higher z index. That is why it cannot float on top again. Please, any questions so far?
Yes, sir.
All right. On the absence of no other question, so since I still have some time with you, I still have time here. And you guys are following. Let me just do these three. That three they have on top there. Abi, they will now know that next class is just the over effects that we are going to work on. That three that they have on top there is still the concept of position relative and position what. Also, or can I give you as a classwork? Please, I need
Yes,
respond.
sir.
Shane, Promise, Fola,
I'm here.
can I
No,
give you
please, since we've got time, we can just do it now. Let's do
since
it.
we should do it right? Okay.
Yes, please. Thank you.
So these three that we have on
Okay.
top there, let's get it so that we still have enough time. So let's go back to our code.
So let's do
Huh?
let's do it as a class work. I'll do the over effect.
I should do the
Then use
over
the time.
effects.
Yes, then we do that three as class work.
Let's come on, let's
Since
agree together. Oh.
since
Do
the same pattern we used to do the
the
other
other
time.
one. For do you
Yeah.
support that?
Well, I would have preferred we just do it. So, but since everybody's saying we should do it, we should just leave it as assignment and whatever.
Shane, what about you?
I can do either one.
I should do which one?
I can do in any one.
Okay, promise.
I mean, I think you should do it as classwork or something like that.
Which one are we doing as classwork or assignments?
We are doing both the time and the three for the illustration. Then you can do the over effect with the remaining time left to the class. The over
Okay,
effect.
so let's do the over effects. Let's do the over effects. Over effects, appearing of all of this. Push. Let's go back. We are still going to go back to the header. Please, I want to close this so that it will not be confusing. General, so that you know that. So I already have only these ones there. So I want to go back to the header, the headers, the CSS session. So go back to your HTML because the over effect is actually coming on the header words on the header side of your code. It's coming on the header part of your words of your code. So what I'm going to do in that case now, for me to get those effects, one they call it search, the other one is called search with your voice, the other is called it create and stuff like that. So I'm going to go back to here, close this, my header. Then what I will pass inside the below the image, inside the button, where is it? That will be middle now. Start from the middle section. So this one now, this is search icon, right? Still inside the button, I'll create a div. This div right up should be search. That's what they have. Search. Then I'm going to give it a class. I'm going to give it a class that is going to be easy for me to use, so that I will not be writing too much code because it's becoming messy too much. So the class I'm going to give it tooltip. So that's the class I'm going to give it. So if this is tooltip, the same thing will come in here. Same thing will come in inside this button to get the over effect of it. So the same thing I'm going to use for my creates. In my creates or voice search, my create is on the right section. So what I will do for this my create, I will pass that icon inside a div. You see now it's only image I have here, so I'll create a div here. All right, so this image will be inside the div. What's this? So this image will be inside the words, inside the div. So this one will be search with your voice. Search with your voice. Search with your voice. Then this one is what they call create. So the same thing will be what I will do for this one that they have here, YouTube's apps. For YouTube's apps, that's the concept you still have. But let me just achieve all of this. I will add this one to your assignment. these other ones. I'll add it to the assignment of 3 that you work on. But let me work on this. The same concept I have here is what you are going to also use to what, to achieve that. So let's go back to the header region. Let's go back to the header region. Now, from what we have explained so far, we said that um, an items has to be, one has to be position relative, while the other has to be what, position absolute. That's what we have learned so far for the item to what, to appear. So what I'm going to do in that case is this. I have my search bar button, my voice icon button. I will set all of them to display of flex. So let me come down here so that it's, so let's call the classes. I have from this HTML that I have here, I think this one is called, the class that this one belongs, equals search icon word button abi. So I'm going to call it here because I want to do something with it. Search icon word button. So because I want to call others, voice search icon word button, I have that also there. Voice search icon word button. Then I think I said I'm going to create this one. Did I give it the class? Yeah, this one here, let's give it a class of upload icon. Upload icon, let's just add a container to it. Upload icon hyphen container. Upload icon container is what this one is inside. Okay, this one is inside it. So it means that this class, I have to also call this class in my header.what, my header.css, just a comma, since I'm using the same thing for all of them, spaces. So what I'm going to give this one, I will turn their display to be flex. I want you to be seeing the browser too, so that you'll be carried along. When I turn the display to be flex, you see everything is going bananas, kind of. It's looking, it's doing as if it's not, I'm doing the wrong thing. So I'm going to call my justify content so that everything will be at the words position at the center. Justify content, I'll call my words my center. You see that it's now at the words at the center. So the next thing I'm going to do there is I'll do my align items also, so that the item will be on the center. Everything will be at the center of wherever it is what is located. All right. So we said we have what we called position what relative. So presently now, this button, you know, these are the buttons. Okay, these are the buttons. So I will set the buttons to be position what relative. I will set the button to be position what, position relative. So when I set the button to position relative, to you nothing is wrong, but to me as the person that is building this work, something has been what, adjusted. Okay, something has been what, adjusted, but you may not see the effect yet. Please, I want to maximize my browser. Are you seeing that this one is still flowing? This one is still flowing too. So what I would do, let's go, I want to go back. I'm seeing some errors here, still flowing on top. Where is the sidebar? Sidebar. So this sidebar, I will set z index for it also. I'll give it a z index of 100 pixels. No, series of 100. So that no matter what, it can't be coming on top of my sidebar. So that one has corrected it for me. I'm not seeing my items again. No. I want to be seeing what I'm doing there. Okay, so in that case, just have to bear with me. Oh, okay, so I have something like this there. Align items. Let's come back here. Sidebar. This is what I'm working on. Now I have done that. Now I've set the position to be what? To be absolute. So remember, each of these items are having what we call tooltip. They're having a class of what? Tooltip. I have to target that tooltip. So this search icon is having a tooltip, right? I'll call my search icon button. When I call my search icon button, I am targeting the tooltip of it. Dot word tooltip. This is the first time I'm bringing it here. Tooltip, comma. Then I also have my voice search icon button. Abi, my voice search icon button. Voice search icon button. I'm looking at the what? The tooltip. Then lastly, the upload, I think it's upload icon container. I'm also looking at the what? The tooltip. I'm also targeting the what? The tooltip. So these classes I want to pass in for this place now is what will be applicable for all of them. So I'm giving it position words, first position words, absolute, so that it will be on top of the other one that we have there. So position absolute now is not on top of the what? The one that is what? Position words relative. Alright, our font family still remain Roboto. Alright. So if Roboto did not load, give me what? Problem. Give me what? Area. So that's okay. Then I want to bring this thing down. I want to also show you the top and the bottom. I'm giving it a padding of 4 pixels. The left and right, I'm giving it a padding of 8 pixels. So instead of me to be calling padding everywhere, I can just say padding. Since I have value for top 4 pixels, the other one is what? 8 watts, 8 pixels. So I'm just doing a pattern that you make your code to be short, and you understand what you are doing, instead of making code to be plenty everywhere. So the font size, we are reducing the font size to be 12 pixels. We are reducing the font size to be 12 pixels. Then the next thing that I want to achieve is the border radius. All right, the item there, border radius is just a curve on the edge. I'm not good enough. What's going on here? The border radius, I will set it to be 2 pixels. I've not even put a background color. Okay, no need of background color. The background color that I would like to put is going to come inside the overworld effects, but presently let me just be doing what I'm doing now. Now you see, notice that this thing is coming on top, and it's actually position absolute. So for me to bring this thing down, I have to call bottom, right? Now if I call bottom of 0, you know that, yeah, it will go down. So now it's going down of the words, it's going down of the button. Now I want it to pass that range of the button. I have to get a negative words movement, minus 30 pixels. You can see that it's now down of the words of this button. This is the button, right? When I gave it 0, it was showing here. Okay, so I now give it minus 30. If I begin to increase it more, to go down more, minus 50, we also go downwards more, right? But from the original is minus 30 that they have. Are we good, please? Are we good?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now you notice that this particular set with your voice is still going on top. How do I make this guy to come down so that everything will flow in the horizontal word pattern? There's a CSS property called white space, and when you call your white space, the value should be what? No wrap. So you are giving no wrap, so you are telling the interpreter that you don't want that thing to wrap on top of wherever it was is placed. Or you can see now that it's no longer here, but it's not going horizontally what place. All right, then the opacity, because by default on their own
Sorry.
this, yeah,
So I didn't understand what you mean by this white space and then this now wrap.
yeah, this white space, if you have a container and the thing is going on top, probably the right top is much on the container, is not need to board to be going on top so that your item will come up. Okay, if you don't want, because that's their default behavior. If I remove it right now, you see this particular one, if I cut it out, this particular one that the text is much, okay, that the text is much, is now going up because the width of this container is limited to carry this. Do you understand? If you want to force the text to display horizontally, just pass that white space no wrap. It will make everything go down horizontally. That's what
Okay.
that property does. All right,
Okay.
so if that is okay, we in our introduction class we make mention of opacity, right? I will say opacity accept two value. The first value is what is 0 or 1. The anything you are putting there is the transparency, abi, how you want to fade it out. So it means that if I give this one opacity of, by default it's not appearing, I give it opacity of 0, those things will not appear. Do you understand? Not that they are not there, but because the opacity is 0, that's why it's not showing. If I give it opacity of 1, it will come back. Are you getting it? So let's give it opacity of 0 so that it will not appear by what? By default. Is that okay? So that it will not appear by what? By default. Now if that concept is okay by us, so my gen want to off. If this particular concept is okay by us, the next thing I'm going to do, I think this one is having a background color. Let me see. Super simple. All right, they gave it background color, they gave it background color, they gave it background color. Presently I don't have background color for my work, so I'll go back to the button. Where's the button? This button there. I'll set the background color of this to be gray. Hope I'm good. Is it the button now? I'll set the background color of the tooltip. Sorry, it's not the button actually, it's the text, and the text is the tooltip. I'll set the background color of this one to be gray, to be what? Gray. So if I bring this one back, you see that when it appears, where's my work, you can see that you're having gray something there. I think the next thing they did there, the text color is white. I've not even done that. So the color of the text is, well, the color of the text, I will set it to what? To white. All right, so that is okay for me. Now if that is okay, I will take my opacity back to be what? To 0. Then I want this thing to appear when it is what? Over. So when you over on the button, I want it to appear. So I have to call the button again, the search icon button. I am looking at the over of it. What am I overing? I'm overing what? Tooltip. A tooltip is a class, right? So I have to have a dot here. So the next thing I'm going to look at again, the voice search icon button. I'm looking at the over of it. So I'm looking at the tooltip for it to appear. Come on. Then the last one, which is going to be my upload, my problem, my upload icon container. I'm also looking at the over of it, but I'm targeting the words, the tooltip. All right, so what I will do here now, I will set the opacity to be what? To be 1. So let's see what will happen here now. When my cursor gets here now, it appears. Are you seeing it? It appears. It appears. It will also what appear. So that's what the work of the what over what effect. So for this button, let me set a cursor pointer for it, so it will be changed to pointer also. So I have this one here, this one here. But if you observe what is going on here now, it's very fast, Abby. It's very fast. It's very fast. This one was not done. Very fast. So what I would do in that case now, in this part here, I will set my transition in this in that tooltip. I'll set my transition, then I'll call the what I want the opacity to appear. We did that in our practice. If you start the class with me, transition. So I'm targeting this opacity. I'll call the opacity. Then I will now pass the time I want it to occur. Let's say 0.15 watts seconds, so that it will not be what? It will not be fast. I have this. I have this. I have this. I have this. So please, any question?
No.
All right. I'm going to call it a day here. I'm going to call it a day here. Please, your assignment, you are doing the over of this one. If you can do this 3 on top, fine. Over of this one, 3 on top. That's your assignment, please. Then for those of us, load your original pictures, then put your time. Load the original time they have in the original words website. Promise, are you good?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Sure. Crispin, are you good?
Yes, sir. So I'm good.
Fola, what
Sir,
about
but
you?
you,
Yep.
sir, you drop the source code for us because we're not coding along, so we can
I'll
just.
drop it. I'll drop it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Fola, what about
You
you?
good?
Yeah, I'm okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for today. I appreciate your time. Thank you very much. We can call it a day. I will drop the source code. Please don't forget to do your assignment. See you next class. Bye.